What job exists because we are stupid? Traffic police in Baltimore. I was there this summer and the gridlock was atrocious. People push their way into the intersection. The light turns red. And they are stuck there until the light is about to turn red in the opposite direction. At which point those people push their way into the intersection and the cycle perpetuates. During rush hour. They have police standing in the intersections not to direct traffic, though. Simply to hold their hand up when the light turns red so that people don't push their way into the intersection. Basically, a human has to stand in traffic for hours just to tell the drivers what the lights mean. It was unbelievable. The guys who install rubber padding around telephone and light poles so when we walk and text, we don't break our noses walking straight into them. Deleted. Safety manager here. A big portion of my job is saying stuff like, please don't smoke near this flammable liquid, or other things most of us take for granted that people already know. At my university we have a person whose job is to stand by the garbage area and make sure people dispose of their trash appropriately. On crowded nights. Disney Springs has employees working at crosswalks at the intersections from the overflow parking lots to tell people when they can cross. They're normal intersections that have lights telling you when you can cross. People just don't acknowledge them and will try to run across oncoming traffic. Met a guy once, his job was putting dirt on potatoes. Somebody along the supply chain washed them pretty well by the time they got to the grocery. People didn't trust the clean potatoes. So one guy had to put dirt back on them to make them more authentic. And #X200B. Edit, wow, a silver. My first. Thank you. I'm a self-serve gas station attendant. Honestly. The only reason I'm here is to slap the emergency stop button if someone starts pumping gas outside their car gas can. Oh. And shut off the pumps when I leave. The companies that get you out of timeshares. My husband is a labor and employment attorney for a massive company and gives monthly seminars to everyone there to not send stick pics, sexually harass one another. And like clockwork someone in that room does it within a couple weeks. Tier 1 IT support. Did you try turning it off and on again? Sure you did. Could you blow into the cable to make sure there is no dust in the connect or the cable was loose? How surprising. Have a good day. I have a side gig doing data entry. I earn $25 USD per hour copying and pasting stuff from a web page into an Excel spreadsheet. While doing some light formatting. Edit, Holy Karma Batman. To answer a few repeat questions, I know the employer personally. Which led to me picking up this work. It's not a lot of hours a week. But the extra money is definitely useful. It's difficult finding this kind of work. You won't find it looking for job ads. You need to approach companies that you feel would have a need for this kind of service. Reddit influencers. It's service help desk. My job exists because of stupid, and let me give you a pro tip about computers. Computers don't break because they don't do what you tell them to. Computers break because they do exactly what you tell them to. Psychic detectives, because why trust a professional detective to be intuitive? Litter control personnel for public parks and beaches. I had a temp job in a posh department store a few years ago. The escalator going down from floor 2 to floor 1 had to be taken out to be replaced, which took a month. Despite the many notices and the signs directing people to the lifts and stairs. A member of staff had to stand at the top of the closed escalator just to direct the public to the lifts and stairs. It broke people's brains, and it was worrying to see how many tried to get past the barriers. Or got pissed and shouty because there was no escalator. Like holy shit, how did people cope before moving stairs were invented? Gossip column journalists and paparazzi. I read the title as "Do Jobs Exist Because We Are Stupid?" and I had a deeply existential moment where I considered becoming a hermit. Rag pickers and road garbage cleaners. Meth lab cleaners. It's pretty sad to see how much this industry is growing in Australia. People often give the US Coast Guard a lot of crap for being the Coast Guard. But they deal with some of the most dangerous specimen on the planet, stupid drunks with boats. M's first job out of college was to stand outside of Aldi's and help the people how to figure out to put the quarter in the slot to release the shopping cart, and then later, how to put the chain back in to get their quarter back. I said F that. I stood there all day. Baked out of my gourd. Attorney. 90% of our work is spent on 10% of our clients. Then they blame us for getting in trouble after doing what we told them not to do. Basically, stupid people keep us employed. Removed. Computer repair for the most part. Probably half of all the things I had to repair were extremely silly mistakes that could have been avoided by simply reading. Whenever people get an error message, they panic and click it away. Most don't even read it. When reading it could already help you fix it. I remember one guy who said he didn't want to pay us to put a SIM card in his phone. I completely understand this. Because it's overpriced but we still told him to make sure to take the nano SIM out of the holder it came in order for it to fit in his phone. 10 minutes later, he came back because he ruined his phone trying to forcefully push the SIM card and the holder into the socket of his phone. All the jobs at MLM companies. Instagram ladies selling flat tummy tees with entrepreneur written in your bio. I am looking at you. Ticket companies that sell you tickets from ticket companies that sell you tickets. Litter pickers. If people used bins instead of throwing rubbish on the floor, they wouldn't be needed. Televangelists. I hope I live to see the day people stop giving money to conmen who buy McMansions and private jets and claim they deserve it because God loves them.